Greetings, friends. It is Thursday, the 13th of April. Cheers. It's early morning, so I still have my sweater on, but it's nice now. Spent some time out yesterday in the yard, but unfortunately discovered through my neighbor that there's a hole in my garage roof, and it's on his side, so I never see that side. But fortunately, my neighbor turns out he has started his own construction company, and so he's agreed. We've agreed to have him fix it starting next week. And some other things, actually, around here. So, it's always something, though, isn't it, people? It's always something. But on the overall, I'm extremely happy. What I like about this time of the year is spring mornings. The sun in the morning. It's just beautiful. It's just one of those simple pleasures of life. Beautiful sunshine. So, what's going on? What's going on is that I just received from Discus Music the latest Orchestra of the Upper Atmosphere, number 6. This was like, wow, the new one, because I have most of them, but number 4 recently, I played Orchestra of the Upper Atmosphere number 4 recently, and it just blew me away. I was like, damn, this is good. This has a lot of just all the elements that I really like, including that Canterbury thing that is somewhat hard to describe. There are certain sounds on instruments that you say that's the Canterbury sound, but beyond that, there's a vibe. And this has it. And it also, I love this. On the inside, they do a recreation of the inner sleeve of Soft Machine 3rd. That iconic picture. I got it right here. It's just one of the best records ever for me. But they do. That's a reproduction of this picture here. Fantastic album. And this number 6. I haven't gotten all the way through it yet, but this is they're keeping the standard up high. It starts off wonderful. I mean, the first 12-minute track is like a panorama. This is really good. Orchestra of the Upper Atmosphere. Way to go, Martin. Your label kicks ass. Along those same lines, from Leonardo Moonjun Pavkovic, I listened to some of this yesterday. I've mentioned it before in the last batch of CDs he sent me. This is a thing called Mask of Confidence. The name of the project is called Mask of Confidence. And I got into this. It's vocal oriented, but musically, Pat Mastelotto and Marcus Reuter, of course. Marcus Reuter and Pat Mastelotto work with and for Leonardo's Moonjun Productions. Marcus Reuter is prolific. He's everywhere, doing a lot all the time, but he's good. And this, for prog fans, this is progressive prog rock with elements of jazz. And I didn't pay attention to the words, but after a while, I caught that the voice was good. It was a good voice. Mask of Confidence. Good stuff, okay? Good stuff. So, what else is going on? Regarding Dear Diary, it's Thursday. Tomorrow evening is the video shoot for the first single off the upcoming David Nance Mode Sound album. As I was lamenting to you a few videos back, because I chose not to tour with him last year when he went out with Rosalie, I kind of thought that my position in the band might be in jeopardy. And basically, he found a younger bass player to tour with, and consequently Sam is playing the gigs now. But because I'm on the album, which comes out in July, I will be in the video. We're shooting it tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. My friend Nick Fackler is directing it. And I'll go ahead and share this because I think it means something to me, and it doesn't really mean anything to David. But his next album, the one that I recorded on bass, it's coming out on Jack White's label. Third Man, is that the name of the label? Now, he isn't talking about it, and I haven't talked about it, thinking I'd let him, share the news. But apparently, it really doesn't really mean that much to him. He's already got a single on the label that came out a few years back. But for me, in my CV and my personal view of how my trajectory has gone, this is pretty cool to be on Jack White's label, to be on a recording on his label, and it'll be out on vinyl. So that's news for you. I'm just sharing that because, again, it's like, it's pretty obvious. It really doesn't, it's no big deal to David. And it's not a big deal to me, but it's like, that's pretty cool. So we're doing that tomorrow. In music, yesterday I pulled this because I just haven't, messed with it. This is a collectible double CD set compilation from 4AD called Lilliput. And that binding is the way that it comes with that tape. It's not added. That's the way it comes. And this is very collectible, but it's also, because of the way that they did the binding on it, it falls apart. Mine's in good shape, so I just played one of the CDs, but I didn't look at the book because every time you open it, the binding separates more. But I love the label 4AD, and back when I had the band Digital Sex, we almost got on the label. But they asked us to change the name, and, I was young. I had named the band. It meant something to me. I didn't want to change the name, so we missed that opportunity. C'est la vie. Some records sitting out. The Poppyfields. I know nothing about this. Is this a one-off? Sorry about the Chris Farlow. I usually check things out pretty good. I thought I had that checked out. And when I went and looked in the music group where I saw it, the notice was still there, but apparently it's not true. So sorry about that, folks. But anyway, that came up because here's a record I don't know anything about, and maybe some of you guys do. The Poppyfields, Alien and Candy, on the Illuminated label. They put out some cool stuff. And this is like that indie sort of, I don't know why I'm thinking of Laura Logic, Essential Logic, maybe, something like that. I really like this. It's hard to describe beyond that, except it's kind of, it's good. Anybody know anything about this band? the Poppyfields. You know, I like electronic music quite a bit. I'm not a clubber. I only did that a little while when I was younger. And Omaha doesn't have dedicated electronic music sections in the stores here. So the last time I was able to get a hold of some techno singles was about maybe 8, 9 years ago. And this was among them. And Pluton on Mistakes Music. I'm trying to tell you what this is. I'm not sure I'm getting the name right because a lot of these electronic techno and dance and house records are almost it's like the people don't even care that you know who they are, and the information is like really hard to ascertain. So this could very well be a DJ or a musician who goes under many different names, but this stomps electronic and not in the typical way. It's very listenable. There's a lot of layers and good sampling, and it's good. Listened to that yesterday. Played some of this. Paul Horn in China with David Mingyue Liang. These are the sort of records that you do see that people, it's like, this is really excellent, high quality, deep feeling artistry that just for the most part is overlooked by most people. It's like people would rather see some twerking and booty shaking, and I don't mind some of that myself, but never any time for something like this. This is beautiful, just like the cover, just like that cover. Very traditionally Chinese sounding, beautiful. Paul Horn was, I forget if he's alive. He was a pioneer in world music, in ambient music, absolutely. Paul Horn, fabulous. Played this, and I'm going to listen to it again today because there's a couple things on here where he does this thing with themes. What I want to understand melodically and work with. Lalo Schifrin, composer, lot of soundtracks, but has a real jazz sensibility. This is a real good album. There's a whole Lalo Schifrin going on from the 60s. This is real good. Played the whole thing. Yesterday was Herbie Hancock's birthday. Turned 83. Happy birthday, Herbie. I love seeing all the accolades and celebrating of Herbie Hancock's birthday online yesterday. And I think people are catching on, or at least ways I'm thinking it. It's like, yeah, we need to celebrate these people while they're alive because we've been at that age for a while now that everyone's passing away. So it's wonderful to celebrate Herbie while he's alive. Played this. I love this album. Man-Child, funky, people music is what it is. It's people music. And we used to cover Hang Up Your Hang-Ups when in my dad's band, the Red Higgins and Sons band. We played Hang Up Your Hang-Ups off of here. I might have a recording of it. I might. Watched a short documentary about silver apples. Again, pioneers in electronic music. I love the story because they tell it honestly. They didn't know how to play, came across this junk, turned it into something. And this is an original. I've had, this is my third copy of this. And it's an original. I don't know what happened to the others. So that's basically what's going on today. It's a Thursday. It's beautiful weather. I might go out and hit the yard today. Other than that, I have some follow-up work to do on these new tracks that I'm working on. One of my ways of working on music is when I work on stuff, I'll make a mix. And LE, thank you for the blank CDs because they're very useful. But I'll make a mix of what I worked on and I listen to it as I'm going to sleep. And that's, I learned this, I forget who I learned this from. Some producers, some musician, a couple of folks way back talked about doing this. And I agree with it. That as you fall off to sleep, you hear things in a subliminal way that the next thing you know, these things pop out. The next time you hear it, it's like, that needs to be fixed, that needs to be louder, that needs to come out. And it's pretty effective and consistently so. So I was listening to some new things I'm working on last night, and I have ideas to add to that. So that's my plan for today. Besides, like I said, maybe hitting that yard a little bit. It is that time of year. I do my yard consistently. And once I start on it, maybe like you all, once you get started on something, you build momentum and then you just want to finish it. So that might happen today. How's your day looking? How are you all doing? Take care.